It's too funny. Which you have you fought in Thailand?
No, I've only been to Thailand the one time. Before my last fight,
Mhm.
I was out there for a while, and it wasn't really like I wasn't being like a dedicated like Muay Thai fighter the whole time or anything like that. It was more just to get out there. It was my first time there. I went with some of my students and my friends and whatnot, and so we were just seeing the country. We were taking it all in. Were going from here to there and everything like that. And we were popping into a few gyms, and we were definitely going to see, we went to Rajadamnern Stadium. I went to Lumpini. I was up in Chiang Mai and definitely got some training in, some very good training. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going back for a longer period. I was only there for a few weeks.
Mhm.
But yeah, hopefully when the world like kind of settles down a little bit more, I can
Yeah,
get back over there for a longer period. And you never know, maybe get some fights out there because I mean
yeah,
that's the mecca. That's where if you're a Muay Thai fighter, you got to have some fights in Thailand at some point. Um,
yeah,
I'm just happy that I got to fight a Thai a few fights back.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not the same as doing it over there. I learned a lot even in that brief time.
Mhm.
I definitely learned a lot more about Muay Thai than I did than I knew before I went there.
What were the differences? Even though you didn't fight there, but just like their training and if you were able to see some of the fights, like what were the differences between over there and here?
Phew. I mean, there's a lot, but like I mean, the biggest difference as far as like skill level goes and everything like that, like one, the way they sparred was a lot differently. Even like the foreigners, the Farang that were like living out there and had fought out there a lot. The sparring that I experienced wasn't to like bite down on your mouth guard and
Mhm.
swing for the fences like it is at a lot of gyms out here, especially gyms that have more of like an MMA style, like
Mhm.
that Western style of like, okay, I'm just trying to punch you in the face as many times as hard as I can or whatever. Not that all gyms are like that, but still.
Mhm.
But it was more like you had to play that chess match because even
Mhm.
though you weren't like throwing like very hard, it was still kind of draining because you couldn't be lazy. You had to like everybody has really good defense. Everybody knows how to play the game. You can't just throw a kick and have it land on somebody. They're gonna block it. And if you don't have your defense ready as soon as you throw
Mhm.
that strike, then they're gonna score on you. So it was like just being really dialed in and kind of playing that chess match. Um, the clinching, that was another thing. I mean, everybody pretty much knows if they're like trying to clinch with a Thai, unless you're like an upper echelon Muay Thai fighter and you've had experience like over there or you've been in the game a long time with like really talented people. Like the clinching was the biggest skill gap between over here and over there. Like I definitely think
Mhm.
my clinching, like even in that short amount of time, like definitely got a lot better. But
Mhm.
it was crazy. I had little like 10-year-old kids felt like just like, oh yeah, I got your neck and you can't get out. Like, but but as far as like going to the fights and everything like that, just the energy in the stadiums. A lot of times you'll see over here like during the fight it'll almost be like quiet because people don't know like or just like you're just watching the fight, which is
Mhm.
good. I mean, it means you're dialed in, you're watching. But over there, the whole stadium, everybody's just going crazy. Every single kick that lands or every single
Mhm.
big knee, you'll see all the people outside of the red corner's corner and all the people outside of blue corner, and they're just like, hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey, and the whole crowd, the people up in the stands, like making their wagers and their bets with each other. The energy was just like just through the roof, and it was definitely an awesome environment to be in.